this episode, we are diving into one of the most overlooked human superpowers, play. With my guest Shouniez and my wifey, we will explore what play really means. Not just games for kids, but curiosity, joy, and creativity without a goal. We will look at the science behind why our brains need it, what happens when adults lose it, and how rediscovering play can transform our health, our relationships, and our ability to feel alive. We will share personal stories of when play returned in unexpected ways, plus simple practices you can use right away to bring more lightness and fun into your everyday life. So if you've been too serious, stuck in routine, or craving more joy, this episode is your invitation back into wonder. Let's play.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Slow Secrets, and today I'm with my dear sister and wifey, Shouniez, and we are going to talk about play and why adults need it as much as kids. Welcome, Shouniez.
Hi, Julie, wifey. Thanks for being here. I'm very excited to talk about play because I'm super passionate about play.
Play is a forgotten human superpower for joy, health, and creativity. And first point I want to kind of harvest with you is what play really is and what it isn't. So I love that quote of Picasso where every child is an artist, but the problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. Defining play beyond games as curiosity, experimentation, and joy without outcome, super important. There is no target here. And how play looks like in childhood versus how it could look like in adulthood.
So for me, over these years, I've come to really notice the importance and the power of play. And for me, play is the start of so many points, the start of inspiration, the start of creativity, the start of ideas, the start of businesses. And so I've also come to realize it's as essential as sleep for us as humans. Like, play is an essential need: food, water, housing, sleep, play. And it is natural for us as humans, as beings, to want to play, to have the desire to play. And as we grow up and as we get constructed by the world, school, society around us, work, all these things, we get this message that play is only for children, that play is childish, that now we need to become responsible. And somehow responsibility is linked to serious. But that doesn't have to be that way. And it is my biggest desire and dream to spread this message out to the big kids, the grown-ups, that play is fundamental for us. So how can we as adults play? Is literally just opening our eyes to the world around us. Everything around us is a moment of curiosity, a moment of inspiration. And we can literally witness so many things: the birds, the butterflies, the trees. Or if we're in the supermarket, the other day in the supermarket, there was this machine mopping the floor, and it was like, "Excuse me," and I was just laughing. This is play. Walking around awake, aware. And this is how children see the world. everything is new for them. Everything is something like they've never seen before. Every stone is a whole game. They can play like forever with one stone, you know, because they are exploring, they are discovering, they're curious, and they find joy in everything. So we can have a sense. Amen, yes.
So the second point I wanted to talk about is the science of why we play. So there's a brief on neuroscience where play stimulates the prefrontal cortex, boosts dopamine, and strengthens social bonds. And Dr. Stuart Brown, actually, his research says that people who play are more adaptable, creative, and emotionally resilient. Play as an evolutionary survival tool, humans and animals learn through it. I can totally relate to that. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and yeah, I constantly play with my brain and new things to like make it function in peak conditions, and play is very, very big for me. And my dad is always, you know, the scientist, this prefrontal cortex, which I never understood what it means, but it means he's good. It means it's the thing you don't know that's getting stimulated, and that's what you want.
Yeah, I think because through play, we're always learning something new. That's why we said discovering, exploring, curiosity. And every time we're learning something new, we are firing wires in our brains. I often have this visual of like these new neurological pathways like being created. It's like a zapping, zing, zing, like new pathways being created. And when we open ourselves up to trying new things, to stepping out of our comfort zones, to experiencing something new, that is when these spaces in our brain get activated. And this is how we stay stronger, we stay younger, we stay mentally awake, we stay stimulated, we stay alive. And so that is one part where play activates our brain in that way, learning new things, as well as play is definitely a major contributor to relationships and social interactions and social dynamics. And even in a business sense, even in a romantic relationship, in a family relationship, if you bring play into all of these relational situations, you will find ways of easier communication. And what I mean by bringing play in is if you're with your partner, your romantic partner, and you are maybe having a disagreement, this is the time when actually you should go for a walk in nature or something that you love doing together. Go watch a movie. Whatever it is for you, many people it's different, you know. For me, it might be going dancing together. And then you build this connection. And then with the connection, you can build communication. Same with family members, you know. What is something that you and your kids or your family love to do? Go do that, you know. Go look at the ducks in the pond or the rabbits bouncing around, or go something more extreme, you know, those high-line, tree-line things, or go do something more extreme. And through these bonding moments, which is play moments, we have connection moments.
Yeah.
And even in the business sense, I think it's really important for teams at work to go and have a social day out, team building exercises day out, because then when they come together and work together in a more stressful environment,
Absolutely.
the different way that they can connect and communicate with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. The third point I wanted to harvest is where adults lose play, because it's often culturally and educationally equalized with being a waste of our time. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy, you know? And there's always this pressure to perform rather than explore.
Yeah.
So maybe a personal story of both of us where we felt play faded in our lives.
Yeah. it does happen where play fades. And there are going to be moments where we do need to step back from play because maybe there's something serious happening. We need to be responsible in that moment in time. This is also okay. But then when we can and when we find ourselves, we try to get back to this playful part, this playful experience. And I think mostly how we lose it is stress.
Amen.
Financial stress, which for me is one of the biggest things in the world right now for so many people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that means that we need to work. I don't have time. I need to make money to feed my family, to do this house thing and all these things. And so then we become like stuck in this wormhole of, I have to do that to get there. And I don't have time for play. But actually, if we balance out these two worlds of, yes, being responsible, doing what we need to do to provide for ourselves, for our families, for the world, and we balance our play, I believe that this road that you're on success and financial gain or whatever it is that you want to get to will be enhanced if you balance it out with play. Time with your family, because it's ironic because I see a lot of people, they're like, I need to provide for my family, but then they don't spend time with their family. They don't have fun with their family. I need to provide for my wife, but then they come home from work and they sit in front of the TV or on their phone or whatever, and they're not having play and they're not connecting with their partners, you know? So it's like, you can kind of see how that doesn't make sense.
Totally.
Like, what are you doing it for? Okay. And connect with that reason that what are you doing that for, you know? For me, a lot of my mission is so that I can travel, so that I can see the world. So there are times where I buckle down, you know, and like boom, 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 play is less. But because I know I'm going to get to a place where then I will release and I will play. But along the way, I'm still balancing. For me, so much is about balance. Balancing our responsibility with play. Freedom and responsibility. Play and responsibility. One or the other too much, not good. Too much play, also, we won't get anywhere.
It's rounding and rising, rounding and rising. For me, I feel exactly the same. Play comes and goes into my life because I think sometimes you're just more playful than others. Maybe it comes with the moon, or maybe it comes with periods of your life like COVID or earthquake, or sometimes you play more and sometimes you play less. But seeing it come as an ebb and flow into my life and out of my life, I've also realized point 4 that I wanted to check out with you, which is the cost of a playless life, which means higher stress, reduced creativity, shallow relationships. And the science behind this is play deprivation is linked to rigidity in thinking and increased anxiety.
Yeah.
So there's an emotional side to it as well, is the loss of spontaneity, the loss of wonder, and of this lightness that it brings.
Yeah. Yeah, so the lightness that you speak about. So when I'm doing my work and I'm teaching hula hooping, or I'm going in and doing a movement workshop with people, and sometimes people who don't really move, they don't play. And I ask them, how do you feel right now? So many times people say, I feel alive.
Yeah.
Yes. It really stimulates us, and then we will have the energy, we will have the power to do all the difficult things. And yes, I definitely think that in a mental capacity, that the play stimulates joy, it stimulates gratitude, it stimulates this feeling of aliveness, which then brings us back to life. like it brings us back to life itself, like through all of this existence. And then, yes, there are moments where, like, yeah, crisis happens, things happen, like you said, COVID, earthquakes. So in those moments, yes, we have to contain, we have to ground. But as we come out of those experiences, this is where play can then be very beneficial. And you and I know, because we went around to those camps after the earthquake, and we shared play with all of those people through hula hooping. And this is also part of the healing process.
Yes, we have to.
And I remember there was one of the locals there, and he was watching us, and he came up to us and he said, "What you're doing is better than a doctor."
Yes.
So even though it is
Play therapy.
yeah, we can then, as we're coming out of the crisis, we can use it, or out of the difficult time, out of the grieving, we can use the tools of play to heal in the same way. And why it works is because it brings us back to joy, to life. With those feelings of joy in life, we can do anything.
Yes,
Power to do anything.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This is actually point 5 that I wanted to acknowledge, is rediscovering the feeling of play. Because when we went into these villages after the earthquake, where everything was flat and everyone was living in a tent, and we would just go with hoops in the middle of the rubble, is where I noticed the moment where you slip back into this playful state. You have time distortion, laughter, curiosity. And I remember looking at every smile of those children looking back at me and feeling my post-traumatic stress disorder heal a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And that was really powerful. One of the most powerful moments in my life. And then, yeah, I mean, also hosting retreats and seeing also in Tantra how, you know, we try to be a childlike and playful and bring all of that into intimacy and conversation, communication. And I can see the people, they get infused with that feeling, right? That feeling that brings you back to when you were a child and you were so happy to see the sunrise, or to understand a new trick with the hula hoop, or just to run as fast as possible. And it's so beautiful. Something we really forget.
Yeah. So this makes me think of, well, one point is that as we grow older, as we've been talking about, we start to hide. We start to, like, bring ourselves in and hide ourselves away. And what I invite everybody is to come out and play. Because maybe sometimes you're doing it in your house and your thing, or in your safe environment, but we can come out and we can express ourselves. We can come out and we can show ourselves. And whether it's within your family, within your, you don't have to go out in the world, in the streets, how you want to do it. But
On account today.
I mean, if you want to, but not to hide ourselves, but to allow ourselves to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also point 6, play across generations. So grab your mom and go plant a tree. Grab your grandmother and take the chessboard and go sit in the park and play together. You know, go see the kids of your friend and bring a hula hoop or two and teach them a couple of tricks. And the mutual benefits of when adults and kids play together, modeling joy and shared learning, that's just, I mean, teachers, the best teachers are kids.
Yeah.
They're the greatest teachers. And when you take a moment to really see them and be like, this is a yo-yo, or this is a new game, I'm going to teach you a game from Japan with the song, it's just pure bliss.
Yeah. I feel so grateful for all the years that I've gotten to work with kids And really the first, because I was not a kid person. I was surprised the first time I worked with kids at how much I enjoyed it. But because I saw this that you're talking about, I saw them and I saw the world through them. And obviously I was like, that is my joy. And here they are. And then I get to see them, relearn from them. And it's not that we don't know it as adults. It's not that we don't. We're just not doing it. We're stopping it. We're stopping ourselves.
We forgot.
Like, cutting ourselves.
It's there.
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah.
And so when we see it through their eyes, we see the world through their eyes, we can also then be like, we can see the world through those same eyes.
Absolutely.
And I did a retreat the other day where I had adults and kids in the same environment.
Yeah.
And I have my kids that do fire dancing with me, and then I have my adults and my adult friends, the big kids who do fire dancing. And that was the most powerful moment of the day when the big kids saw the kids spinning fire, and they were reminded to what we were talking about, to just play for play's sake. Because when, as adults, we play, but they were like, oh, there's an outcome, I need to learn this new trick, or I need to be better, or I'm performing for someone, da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly.
Kids go out there and they're just like, I'm playing fire. Let's play. I'm playing fire. And then there was the other side where the kids saw the adults doing these amazing things that they've been working on for years and years and years and years, the outcomes that they were working on. And the kids were inspired by the possibilities of where they could go. And so it was this beautiful world of like the adults seeing the way the kids do it and the kids seeing the way the adults do it. And we can always learn from each other. Doesn't matter what age you are, always learning from each other.
Yes. So point 7, simple ways to invite playback. 3 to 5 micro practices the listeners can try in 5 minutes or less.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to start or you want to start?
First thing I always say is, it really depends on the person. What is like, for me, cooking, no. For so many people, cooking is a joy, you know? So I can give some favorite examples, but first point is, what brings you joy? Just do that one. Just
Me dancing while making breakfast, hard, yes.
Yeah. And like we don't have to think of play as like this thing that we have to do. It's just in what we do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So for me, one of my favorite simple things is coloring in.
Ah, so cute. Oh, yay.
So easy. And literally, if I come home from a crazy day, I take 5 minutes to sit down and color in, and everything inside of me is just like, relax.
Yeah.
Obviously for me, hula hooping. But maybe for other people, it's just put in a song and dance.
Fancy dressing.
Fancy
Or
dressing.
just taking another way home. Changing your roots, you know?
Wear glitter for no reason at all.
For no reason. So we really have to emphasize, though, there's no goal, there's no perfection, and there's no winning here. Yeah? And please, 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 in the comments, add a couple of your ideas to add play into your life. 8 is the play invitation. So we're going to close with a challenge. So to invite you to do something tomorrow just for the joy of it, with no productive reason. And you're taking it to the next level and scheduling, which I say in my first book, Slow Lifestyle, in your calendar a time for joy. Once a week, twice a week. You decide once a day, 5 times a week. But you really block that out, and that's a moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to do something for joy.
Yeah.
For play. schedule play.
And when he's playing that, it makes me think of that when you're scheduling, I'm going to do something for joy, I'm going to do something for play. I'm also hearing, I'm going to do something for me.
Exactly.
I'm going to do something for myself.
Exactly.
Just because.
Just
Not
because.
I want to heal. Not
Because
because
it's
I want to learn
essential.
something.
Because it's essential. It's not a luxury. It's an essential thing.
Yes.
And then you can combine it with people that you love. Like you are one entity. Your partner is one entity. You and your partner are one entity. You and one child that you have are one entity. You, your partner, and that child are another entity. And then you have more children. And then you have your brother and your mother. And all of these entities need to be nurtured.
And the other thing about the scheduling is that choosing it, make the choice to choose the play. Because that, like we said, it's forgotten and it's this. It's also that we just don't choose it. We wake up in the morning and we're like, I'm just going to go to work. I got this, my productive list, my 1,000 things on my list to do, and you don't choose it. But you're waking up and choosing to do your list. And, you know, on number 5, you could put play on your productive list.
Yes,
I choose it.
absolutely.
Choose your
Choose creativity. Choose art.
See? Yeah.
Choose the childlike spirit. It's essential.
And it will give you so much power. And you will be more motivated. You will have more energy to do that list.
Yes. Oh my God, it would be so much lighter. It was so much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing your incredible magic with us. So here, one word for our listeners, and then where they can find you, of course.
Curiosity.
Aha. Very nice word. Curiosity. That's a t-shirt.
And we'll leave your curiosity to think about that word.
And where can people find you?
I think the easiest way, connect with me on Instagram, the Purring Pixie.
I will link that in the comments.
Drop me an email at shouniez@gmail.com. Definitely will have to type that out for the spelling of my name.
Yes. Yes. We will link that in the comments.
Yeah, and then, through there we can find other ways to connect further.
Fabulous.
Yeah, let's play together. Come join for
She also hosts extraordinary retreats, hula hoop, and embodiment.
Yes.
Thank you
And fire dancing retreats.
Of course. She's a fire Harry. You know what I really want to manifest with you in the next 12 months is to make another 100 hoops somewhere.
Amazing.
Huh?
Japan.
Or Thailand.
Okay.
We can do both, actually. Japan it is. Next year, Thailand. 1 per year, right? 1 per year.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Sending you so much love.
Love you.
Love you, love you. Bye-bye.